What is good, everyone, and welcome back to the Nostalgia Plus Ultra podcast. My name is Nostalgia. Joining me is As Told by Zoe. What's good, my guy?
What's up, bro?
Not much, man. Happy New Year. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to everybody who is tuning in and listening. At the time of recording this, I will be back in South Florida, back in my apartment. I had a good 2 weeks here back in Georgia, but it's about time for me to hit the road and head back. So, I really enjoyed my time back here at home. So I got to see a lot of family, got to see a lot of friends, got to kind of really think about what we're doing as far as this, as far as NPU goes. So I'm excited for 2022, but definitely ready to get back to my spot, basically.
Yeah, I'm ready for you to get back to South Florida too, bro.
Yeah, man, we gotta make sure we keep pumping the content out, and we're in closer proximity. That way we can kind of do some more stuff IRL instead of us being behind a webcam the whole time.
Yeah, for sure.
So this episode is basically going to be about our 2022 expectations, what we're looking forward to, music-wise and anime-wise. Kind of starting off, for me at least, Naoki Urasawa, finally, he was one of the last few mangaka to make his works digital. I know he's been fighting it for a long time. He finally did make his works digital. That means 20th Century Boys and 21st Century Boys is now available online digitally, and I really would advise people to read it. It's such a good story. I know me and you had kind of mentioned it earlier before we started recording about it, and basically the concept is pretty cool. It's basically just this guy, Kenji, who create, how you have these childhood fantasies, childhood stories that you kind of come up with about heroes and villains and stuff. And basically the story is what if somebody in your friend group took those villain storylines that you imagined as a kid and actually did them in real life. And I think that's a really cool concept, and there's a lot of twists and turns that narratively make sense, and it's not just and I think I said this earlier, M. Night Shyamalan-ing it, where they just throw a random twist in there for no reason. Absolutely brilliant storytelling and writing, and the suspense in it, and every time the main antagonist friend is on screen or on the pages, whenever he's kind of lurking through, and when his dialogue is just super unsettling, and I think it's a really good read. But I'm really glad he decided to put his works digitally so that way more people can read it, because I'm still going to be the lone, I don't know how many people are going to be with me on this, but I'm going to be the one guy that's always screaming for 20th Century Boys to get an anime adaptation, because Naoki's other work, Monster, which I'm currently reading now, actually did get an anime adaptation, and it's actually pretty good. I don't know how much of the manga it covered, but the actual the anime itself is really well done. So I'm just holding out for 20th Century Boys, basically.
Oh, why do you think it hasn't gotten an anime?
I don't know. Well, most of the time, certain mangas get anime adaptations, or even now with manhwa, like Tower of God and stuff. It mostly is due to popularity and sales, and they make so if something has a lot of popularity manga wise, more often than not it's going to get picked up by some kind of manga or anime studio to get produced. Sometimes it also has to do with the actual mangaka themselves. Some people don't want their works being adapted into anime. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I do remember there's one specific person, I can't remember their name, who has a really good story, but doesn't want their manga to be adapted into an anime. I just wanted to keep it as a manga. I can't exactly remember their name, but that is a real that's a real case. So
sure,
the goal usually is to make if the manga's popular, they get an anime adaptation, and then usually what happens is some people, like me, where I'll watch the first season, and then I'll go, what happens next? I can't wait for the next season, so I'm just gonna go read the manga, which then increases the sales of the manga.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's all about money, really. But
Yeah.
I don't know, because like 20th Century Boys is a very well received manga. I don't know how popular it is. I guess Monster. Excuse me. I guess Monster is way more popular than 20th Century Boys, and that's why it got an anime adaptation. But one can only dream for 20th Century Boys. I think I think it'd be really good as an anime too as well. So it is what it is.
Where is it gonna be, like on the Shonen Jump subscription, or you download it somewhere? I know this sounds like an ad, but I'm genuinely asking.
I can't. I don't remember, but like it probably gonna be on like somewhere like Viz, where they have a lot of more like digital works and stuff. I know.
Sure.
I can't remember the tweet I saw did have a link to it, but I don't know if they're gonna be translated into English yet. That's another thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know if it's gonna be because and full disclosure, I don't condone this. I know me and you had talked about it earlier. I don't condone this. Reading manga scans because it's low key copyright infringement.
Yeah.
But that's how I ended up reading. That's why I'm currently reading a couple titles now off of scans, because like they just don't have English translations. Or with 20th Century Boys, I read it because obviously it's digital to me because I have it on my phone, but Urasawa never like gave permission for it to be digital. So people just like scan the page, like clean it, redraw it a little bit to make it look cleaner, and then take the Japanese kanji off and then put English, like the English translations in there. And that's basically how people can make money off of that. Like they have like Patreons and Discord servers where people can work on that kind of stuff. So I do read scans. I don't condone reading scans because it takes money away from the creator. Because like if there's millions of people reading a scan and not the original work, then none of that money goes to the original person. It's just a situation for me, which is unfortunate because like I'll take like Hell's Paradise, which is also getting an anime adaptation in 2022, and I'm really excited for that. But it's basically a situation where at my Barnes & Nobles at home, and the one, I think it's I can't remember where in South Florida, but it's like 20 minutes from my apartment. They don't have Hell's Paradise. They don't have Volume 1. So like usually what I try to do is read the scans up until I find the first volume. Sometimes like the volumes get a little expensive and I might not have the money at the time to buy it online. So like when I went to my Barnes, I went to like over around Christmas time, I went over to find Hell's Paradise Volume 1, and all they had was Volume 6, 8, and 11. And I'm just like, okay, well, like obviously if I was starting a collection, it's different, right? If I'm starting a collection where I'm just like, okay, I'm just gonna pick up manga and then add to it as I go, that's one thing. But I'm actually trying to read the titles that I pick up. So, but that's about it. So I don't condone reading scans, but I understand why somebody would. That's basically my thing.
Especially being in America, where it's probably a little harder to get older manga here.
Yeah, because some don't really get translations, but it is what it is. So, moving forward, looking forward into 2022, some musical stuff that we're looking forward to, anime stuff. I know for you, what are you like looking forward to as far as like anime goes?
I have this list pulled up. It's to be announced anime releases, so like they have no dates. But I'm super hyped for Chainsaw Man. Super hyped. I'm hyped to see, because I've seen crazy panels of Chainsaw Man, like cool action, but also gross shit. Like it just looks fucking cool.
Yeah, I'm excited. They do. I guess the mangaka for Chainsaw Man, I can't remember their name, but they do body horror really well. Like, and it's and like the way and there's like the detail involved in it. And I'm not, obviously people are gonna get on my case for it maybe, but like I haven't really seen too much of I haven't seen too much of that done well. Like I've seen like Berserk does it really well with body horror. Like Berserk is really unsettling with body
Yeah.
horror. Obviously you get certain horror manga that do it well, but as far as like a shonen, I think Chainsaw Man does body horror exponentially well. It's really good. So I'm curious to see how they do it in the anime. I pray it's not censored. That's my only thing, because I really want like people to get the full scope of how like
Sure.
metal this fucking anime is gonna
Yeah.
be, or the source material is. So I'm definitely excited for that, for real.
Yeah. And we talked about this earlier. Made in Abyss is getting a second season. I haven't
Yep.
seen the first one, but I've heard a lot of good shit about it. I need to watch it.
I say, like I think I said this earlier. The feeling I got reading and watching the first arc of Promised Neverland is the same feeling I got when I watched Made in Abyss, the season 1, because it's basically, what's funny about it is the way it's drawn. It looks really wholesome. It's like, oh, this girl like really wants to go exploring the other areas outside of her town, and then she gets there, and then all of a sudden some wild shit happens. It's kind of like what Promised Neverland. It's like, oh, these kids look really cute, and they're running around having a good time. They're in this orphanage. They're really wholesome. They're all siblings together in there, and then all of a sudden, boom, demons eating people. You know what I'm saying? Like it's got that kind of shtick to it where it looks wholesome but has a very dark kind of like
Sure.
undertone to it. But I think it's like really cool. Definitely a good show to pick up if you haven't watched it yet.
And one that looks interesting to me because it looks funny. I've never even heard of this. Is it wrong to try to pick up girls in a dungeon season 4?
Okay, okay. The fact that this has lasted 4 seasons, okay, I understand why, but at the same time, it's of the kind of genre of manga that I absolutely fucking hate.
Is it too
Which
horny?
is no, well, yes, but it's also like very. I call it like incel is the genre I go for, incel-ish, where like
jeez.
basically the main character is like it's a isekai, I think, and basically like the main character is like like a weirdo, like a shut in, and gets no women, and he's like really like awkward and just like doesn't, and then all of a sudden he gets this isekai and he becomes this fucking Chad and has all these like huge boobed women like coming up to him. Like I don't like that. I hate like the whole like How to Pick Up Girls in Dungeon. SAO low key got into that category for me, kind of, not like it's like teetering that line. And then Overlord is the same thing for me. Overlord is the exact same, because Overlord's like this guy. He's like, not very popular, like really awkward kid, but he's like this big villain in the game, in this little isekai game, and he like gets locked in where he can't like leave the game anymore, and he has like these women servants that do everything he wants them to do, and this kind of thing. It does it. I'm not a huge fan of it.
Sure.
Like, I'm not a huge fan of it because I give it like the incel tag, and I know people that end up like it, but what?
I just think the title is funny. Is it wrong to try and pick up girls in a dungeon?
Yeah, that's the light novel titles for you. It's just like really long. I think the funniest thing, like light novels, they don't give you a summary because the whole gist is in the title.
Yeah.
That's really the whole thing. What else? What you got?
Apparently, Ghost in a Shell has a new anime. Ghost in the Shell SAC 2045,
What?
and it's getting a second season on Netflix.
Wait, did I miss that? Because I could have sworn I had that on my list to watch. I don't even remember it announcing. It must not have been that good then.
I didn't even know they were making a new Ghost in the Shell.
I mean, I knew, because I remember it was like they were making the Ghost in the Shell, and then they made like the Blade Runner anime thing. And I remember both of those being announced, but I didn't really hear much about either of those two. So I don't know if they're that good. Hopefully,
You know what I'm hyped? You know what I'm hyped for though?
What?
In 1 week, Attack on Titan.
Oh, the final
season. It starts in 1 week. I'm so
excited.
fucking hyped for it.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm usually somebody that finishes a season and immediately picks up the manga to read it. I chose not to because around the time I kind of picked up AOT really late, and so I started binging it right around the time the manga was finishing. So I was like, okay, I'll just finish this. I think I was on season 3 when I was like, I'll finish season 3, and then I might just read the manga and then watch the rest of it when it finishes. But when people were like absolutely getting pissed off about the ending and hating everything about it and all the people's backstory, all the people's like finishing stories, and people just didn't like how it ended, I was like, I would much rather just, ignorance is bliss on this one. I'm just gonna watch the anime and then just let that play out and make my own decision. I may go back and read the manga later, but I'll just make my own decision based off of that. But I have to see what I'm gonna do. I'm excited for it though.
I'm so glad that I got into anime this year because I binged all of Attack on Titan like a few months ago.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't have to wait. It's definitely a show. I hope people don't take us the wrong way, but I kind of got the same feeling like watching it when you take like Game of Thrones into account. Like, if you don't watch Attack on Titan all the way through, like multiple episodes in succession, you can forget a lot of things and forget certain characters and certain motivations. Kind of like with Game of Thrones, how like watching it weekly would suck. I don't think I would have gotten as much enjoyment out of Game of Thrones if I didn't watch it all in succession. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
that makes sense.
Yeah, you can kind of get storylines together and you can create your own theories about what happens if you're binging it. If you're just weekly watching it, you gotta watch it and you gotta wait a whole another 7 days, and you may end up, and then like somebody that appeared in week 2, you may have forgotten about when they appear again in week 7. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like I think Attack on Titan was definitely a show that you really gotta like binge because you might forget some things. So I'm excited for it. What you got? What else you got going?
Spy Family comes out in April.
Yep, I started the manga for that recently. It's pretty good. I'm excited for that.
Holy shit! Remember when we were talking about Jump Festa and I was like, "Oh, they're doing a Yu-Gi-Oh." Yeah.
What is it,
dude? It's called Yu-Gi-Oh! Go Rush, and this looks like Ultraman kind of. It's like
really
crazy colorful, and there's like an alien in the background, and this dragon looks like a mech. It looks like it's for little kids the way it's designed, actually.
Well, I mean, Yu-Gi-Oh! The sole purpose of Yu-Gi-Oh! as a show was to sell the trading cards. So
yeah, but like the way it's designed, it kind of looks like not Beyblade. It does look like Beyblade, but what am I thinking of?
Like Digimon? Bakugan. Okay, so
if
that's a throwback for real. Jesus Christ, Bakugan.
If you look at this like picture, this like cover, I guess it looks like something that they would show on Jetix.
Oh my God, another throwback. Jesus Christ.
Jetix.
Watching. Oh my gosh. Was
so
that like the?
Wasn't
that on Disney Channel? Was that Jetix Disney Channel? That's something else.
Yeah, exactly. It's when Disney would show like Pokemon and shit like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was like it was like Disney's version of Toonami.
Yeah, I don't think I'll be taking part in it. It doesn't look interesting.
It probably looks more for a younger audience. So I don't blame.
Whoa!
I don't blame them.
Wait a second. Holy shit! They're doing Devil is a Part-Timer season 2.
Yeah, you didn't know that? I thought you knew that.
No, I love that fucking show.
I thought you knew that.
I didn't know that at all.
You put that on your Mao list, so I assumed you already knew they were making a second season.
Dude, okay, I know it looks like I shouldn't be that hyped for this show, but that is literally the show that got me into anime.
I know you told me that. That's fine.
I
That's
didn't
funny.
know they're making a second season. Oh my god.
How long has it been between the first season and this season? 'Cause I know that one had to
Dude.
come out.
Dude, I saw it freshman year of college, which was like what, 5, 6 years ago
But
already?
was that when it aired?
I don't think so because
When did it air?
I saw it on Netflix.
When did it air? I wonder.
8 years ago, 2013.
Jesus Christ. That's yeah. It's a very much 2013 type show, especially first season. Like that show fits the time very well in terms of its like, comedy style and like how it approaches jokes, and even its take on the isekai genre is very 2013ish. Like it's like, you know what I'm saying, like that kind of vibe it gets. But I think the charm of it, I hope they keep that for second season. I hope they don't try to like modernize it, because it was really good in its iteration, but we'll see.
It looks like it has all the same characters, so it's not like not like a new devil or something.
Yeah, no, I haven't watched that in a long time. I need to rewatch that. I think that was around the time I started watching SAO too, so like I was like big on the isekai at the time. That was like very, very early in my anime career, so I have not watched Devil's Part-Timer like in a while. What did you got?
Dude, Uzumaki comes out in October.
I was gonna say something about that. Okay, you know me, like horror is not my thing. Mm-hmm. Not even close. I genuinely want to watch Uzumaki. Because
Dude, have you ever read any of Junji Ito's stuff?
it's fucking scary.
Yeah,
It's very it's unnerving. I don't like
the
it.
only manga I've ever read, because I like horror stuff. I'm a big 80s horror slasher fan. I go to horror nights every year. So when I heard of Junji Ito, I was like, I gotta read some of it, and it's unnerving as fuck, but I'm so hyped for it.
Yeah, and I'm glad they decided to keep it black and white for the color scheme of the show.
Yeah,
because
think
like
that's so cool.
I don't think for this may sound weird, but I don't think it would be as scary if it was in color.
I agree. I feel like some people or some studios, they would try to like make some of the grotesque stuff like more bloody, when that's like not really the point.
Right. I think it's, obviously, because it's funny because we talked about Chainsaw Man earlier with body horror, right? So like, I don't know, like the body horror in color makes sense for Chainsaw Man because it's like an action it's like an action shonen, like with a very heavily seinen type elements to it. So obviously it's like a dark kind of thing. So you obviously having color in there makes sense. But like the classic nature of Junji Ito's work, Uzumaki, like I don't think you can make it scarier by adding color. Like the black and white panels, you flip the page, you just see the whole spread. It's just like, I don't know, it gives you like a weird chill down your spine. I think it's really hard to do. So I think I'm definitely, I don't know how far I'll get into it, because I might have to drop it because I'm a little bitch, because I hate scary stuff.
It says it's only 4 episodes long.
Really? Or how long is the runtime?
I was about to say, I think the episodes might be pretty long, because the thing is, it's only doing Uzumaki. Like, it's only doing that story. It's not doing like all his other stories.
If this one pops off, they might as well do it. They might as well have like a whole Junji Ito collection of like I guess like a anthology type. Like they just, what they should do? They should just have like an anime anthology series titled Junji Ito, and just have all of his stories in there as a season.
It's funny you say that. I was looking through Funimation just to see just shit that I should put on my watch list, and there is a Junji Ito collection.
Yes.
It is rated very poorly, and it is
That's
also in color.
See?
Yeah.
My statement stands. Statement stands. Keep it black and white. I think, you know what's funny? I think somebody had tweeted it, and I was looking through the thread, and they said, yeah, you know, the Junji Ito collection they made in the past was kind of garbage and yada yada yada. So yeah, so like yeah, I think I did hear something about that. That's funny. Yeah, and the fact I did it in color. I'm telling you, like that trailer they had, where old girl's like walking down like the little road, and she like turns and like it's black and white, but it moves like a regular like it's in color, like it moves regularly, like her hair flows the same way, all that stuff. I think it's like really really dope. So, you got anything else? Because I think I got my list together for looking forward to stuff.
The fall of 2022 is My Hero Season 6. Bleach comes out in October, too.
Yep. I'm excited for that, too. I think I had talked about that in an earlier episode. If you haven't, if you want to hear my thoughts on the Bleach one, you know, I can't remember which episode it is, but I think it might be episode 3 or 4. But go back and check that. I have some thoughts on that one as well. What's up?
They're doing a Kakiguri, or it's hard to pronounce this. I know
Kakigurui?
Kakigurui Twin. It's like a new series, I guess.
I think it's like I think that could be like a spin-off, like not as serious thing. You know how like
oh wait, it's about Mary.
Oh really?
It says as first year student of renowned, not gonna pronounce it, private academy, Mary, not gonna pronounce it, knows her future, or something.
Oh wow!
So I think it's about Mary.
Oh wow, Kakigurui could have been so much better.
I have not finished it. Finished it.
Okay, I equate, so like again with I have I guess certain like subgenres for certain shows. The category that Kakigurui fits in is this should not be as horny as it is.
From what I've seen, I agree.
This should not be as horny as it is. 100%. Like I put Kakigurui in this. I put Food Wars in this too. Food Wars, like I don't understand how a freshly cooked meal can make you nut like that. I don't understand. I don't get that.
Yeah, but
I get
Food Wars
people,
is like funny.
It's funny, but also like it doesn't need to be that horny. Then you get Kakigurui. I completely understand how some people get their rocks off through thrills. I completely understand. But some of the stuff they be doing in there just doesn't make sense.
The Russian roulette scene is way too crazy.
Like, bro.
Way too crazy.
Like, bro. Get like, nah, ain't no way. But yeah,
I think I'm gonna try to finish it soon. I want to see just like, I don't know. You said it should be better. Well, maybe I like it. I don't
because
think
there's other. No, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
I don't think it's a bad show. I think when shit isn't horny, it's pretty interesting. It's pretty intriguing.
Yeah, so like, I'll equate it to another gambling anime manga, Kaiji, which I'm currently reading right now. When it comes to Kaiji, like the strategy behind it and the actual tension behind it is like really real. Like it's real. And also, I guess this might be a spoiler, it might not be. But in Kaiji, like there are real life consequences to losing. Like you genuinely feel like Kaiji could lose at any point in time. I knew within the first like 6 episodes that none of the main characters were going to lose any gambling game ever.
Sure.
There's no like, well, I don't know if anybody like
that makes sense. Actually, that makes sense.
Yeah, I don't know if anybody loses for real in Kakigurui. I know like people get slight punishments and things, but I could not recall either of the main characters, either the boy or that girl, genuinely losing for real in Kaiji. Because like Kaiji, that man loses for real, like loses, and like gets put in these like really messed up situations with his gambling stuff. I just didn't really see it in Kakigurui. That was my only thing. There's no real weight or consequences.
Yeah, I can totally tell even from me not finishing it. I can obviously tell from the start. You can tell who has plot armor.
Right. But I mean, it could be that could be somebody else's really favorite show or one of their favorite shows. I understand.
It's not bad. I don't.
But
Yeah,
it's
again,
not a
I don't
bad
think
show.
it's bad. No.
It's not a bad show. However, it should not be as horny as it is. That's my only
Agreed.
thing.
Agreed.
My only thing. That's crazy.
I think that's pretty much it for me. Yeah.
Okay, I got a
Speak.
couple.
I'm gonna get a hoodie, but I can hear you.
Okay.
So.
Okay. I got a couple. So, firstly is obviously I talk about Bleach. I talk about Uzumaki. Chainsaw Man is there too. There's one that I think you sent me a tweet. I think it was somebody's trailer for it. Like they were like I guess reacting to the trailer. Sabikui Bisco. I'm probably butchering the fuck out of that name, but it's got like it's got these like giant animals. It's got a very old art style. It looks kind of like one of my favorite shows, Decadence. Like, did you ever watch Decadence? Did I ever show you that show?
Even heard of it.
Okay, Decadence is like Decadence is like a poor man's Attack on Titan, kind of the same premise, but it's got some other elements to it that I think definitely differentiates it from Attack on Titan. But there are some elements from it that are like kind of very similar. The same kind of art style and like theme of moving fortresses and moving towns and stuff, but it's these oversized animals like this crab and this pig with tanks on them and shit. I think I showed. It was Giguk's like reaction to it when he was streaming, and it was like the two characters that like made out, and then like when he pulls away, that giant ass slug comes out.
Yeah.
That show. Obviously, I watched the trailer before. I didn't see that clip. I never watched the trailer. I just looked at like other PV for the show, and I was really hooked because it gave me that same vibe as like a Decadence kind of feel for it. So I'm excited for that show, regardless of the context of that kiss and then that gross shit that old buddy does. I don't like that, but I'm excited for that. Bubble, that anime movie.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about
that's
it.
coming out. That looks really cool. I hope like the PV. I hope the animation in the PV is the same as the final product. 'Cause I know with PVs they may try to boost it up a little bit to make it look more appealing. It's the same thing I feel with Chainsaw. If Chainsaw Man looks like that for 12 episodes, 13 episodes,
Bro.
however long, crazy. Anime of the decade. If it looks like that. If it looks like that.
I trust Mappa.
I trust Mappa, but at the same time I feel bad for them because none of the people that work in that company have seen their families for years.
Nope. They're going ham.
Crazy, bro. They're not letting them out to breathe.
And their shit starts in a week. They're
That's what
also
I'm
on
saying.
Attack on Titan.
Attack on Titan, you got Chainsaw Man, you got another one I'm looking forward to, Hell's Paradise, getting an anime adaptation.
Oh my god.
I'm trying to get decently far in it before the anime starts. That way I kind of have a reference. I don't want to get in a situation where I am reading and then when I get done reading, like what I end up reading is like episode 6. You know what I'm saying? Because now I'm going stride for stride with I don't like that. I want to I'd much rather either not read it and just watch it straight, or just have read enough of it to where I know what happens in the first season. I know it sounds weird, but that's just how I like to operate.
That makes sense.
What else? Another one I was reading. I haven't picked it up. I dropped it not because I didn't like it, but just because I was reading other things. Is Orient. They're getting an anime adaptation. I think it's going to be a very when I say this word, I mean it. I'm saying it for lack of a better word, but it doesn't mean it in a bad sense. It's going to be very kind of generic in its approach, and I don't mean that in a bad thing, and in a bad way. Basically, it's about these two like brothers, and they basically fighting monsters. There's a lot more context to it, but it's like more so like monster fighting and how this guy has a weapon that, you know, the usual shonen trope. He has a weapon or has some ability or doesn't have ability that's like very unorthodox when it comes to the rest of the world in general. You know what I'm saying? He gets looked
Yeah.
down upon
Yeah.
and stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's very generic, and I don't mean that in a bad way. What this show lacks in originality, it does make up for in executing those basic tropes very well. My only thing is when I saw the trailer, it doesn't look like it has anything outstanding in terms of animation, which might not always be a bad thing. Because I don't necessarily like judge a show based off of animation a lot of the time.
Yeah, sure.
It depends on it really depends on the story. Like it really, obviously a show like Attack on Titan, I think both the story and the animation have to be on par because of the fact that a lot of the fights and the stuff have to be top notch in order for you to really feel the narrative weight of things, right? Mm-hmm. With a show like Blue Period, I don't care about the animation of Blue Period because it's mostly story driven. You know what I'm saying? So I think in the middle ground for that is probably Shaman King, because Shaman King has a pretty good story. The animation's not amazing, but it's not bad. But I don't mind it because it's just it's telling a pretty decent story. I feel like Orient's gonna fall in that same kind of category because it doesn't have like this crazy over the top story, but at the same time, it's not like a show that's heavily predicated on like just being stupid crazy animation wise. So I am excited to see how that works out. But I think anything else? Let's see. So like real quick on Spy Family 2. Spy Family I was reading and dropped it not because I didn't like it, but because I was reading other things at the time. I generally think that they are gonna nail a lot of the comedic timing of Spy Family and the actual because the little girl in there, she has a lot of big pages where it's her facial expressions, and being able to convey those the right way for the comedic bits or just like the parts where she's on screen in general are gonna be really important to the story, and how the relationship between the mom, dad, and the little girl are gonna work. I think it's gonna show it to be a really good show. I'm definitely excited for it. And then you got Ranking of Kings, the second season, second core. And the reason I didn't put it in my list for 2021 is because the second core was gonna happen in 2022. That's why I didn't put it in my 2021 list, because I wanted to make sure it was the full 24 episodes, or not even 20, 18 episodes first before I even did anything. And then what else? So the second core or second season of the case study of Vanitas is coming out too. I think it might be second season. I think it's the second season. Case study of Vanitas. So like you take a vampire anime like Mars Red, and you take the case study of Vanitas, and it's two totally different things. Like Mars Red is one of my favorite anime of 2021, and it's very artsy and tells a very different way of telling a story, and kind of basing a lot of the interaction between characters and the plot and driving the plot, kind of like how you would watch a theater play. So like, because obviously the story is written by a guy who has a screenplay written already, so that's the whole thing. But Case Study of Vanitas is just as like beautiful art style wise. The story's good. The characters are very lovable, and you can really like invest. They're characters you can really emotionally invest in. As with Mars Red, you don't really invest too much in the characters because they don't really have too many. They don't have too many redeeming qualities. Plus, you don't. And I know it sounds weird, but you don't spend too much time dwelling on them. Like it's just mostly talking about the world in general. Like Mars Red focuses on just the whole world that's around them in general and how they interact with it, as opposed to their actual stories. It's weird. Like they do it a little bit, but I was never really fully invested in any of the characters watching Mars Red, even though I love the show. But Vanitas, like you really love these characters that are on screen, and they're really funny. They especially the dub is actually really good too. The dub is very very good. I did think I did watch it dubbed, but it's but yeah, I'm definitely excited for that. I don't know. Is there source material? I think there's source material for it. Part of me feels like I kind of want to go read it. So, yeah, that's basically what I'm looking forward to, anime wise.
Is it actually pronounced Vanitas, or am
Yeah.
I just a fucking Kingdom Hearts shill? Because when I first read it, I was like, oh, Vanitas.
I'm not gonna lie, I did the same thing because obviously I'm in that Kingdom Hearts fandom as well. So I was like, Vanitas, that sounds cool. And then they say it
The
in the
case study
show,
of Vanitas.
they say Vanitas. So I do see where I do see where you're coming from there. That's funny. Let's see. Yes, that's basically all I got. Anime wise, you looking for anything music wise? What's the got anything?
Well, apparently, Kendrick Lamar's Faded next album is supposed to come out this year.
I don't believe it. I'll believe it when I see it.
Yeah, same. I've heard so many rumors that it's like, oh, he's going back to Good Kid, Mad City. Oh, it's going to be a rock album. Or not really a rock album, but it's going to have like guitars and shit like that. I've heard so much shit. I don't know when he's dropping, and
Yeah,
yeah,
I mean he did
I'll
post
believe
that.
when I see it.
He did post that was it the long, the website that had the long note thing on it saying he was actually actively working on an album. When was that? That had to have been.
No clue.
That had to have been That had to have been
It was a few months ago.
Had to have been last August or some shit like that. It was a while back.
Yeah,
but,
man.
So at least he is actively working on an album. I just with artists like him, it's funny because you're just, I don't know. I genuinely am a firm believer that artists need to put out music whenever they feel ready to.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If don't want to put out a bunch of unless it's how your artistic flow works. If you just like putting out music, that's fine, right? But if you feel as though you want to get your whole concept together, you want to get your entire thought process together on how you want to present your album, take as much time as you need, right? I don't care that much, even though I'll always be a fan and be like, yo, where's the album at? Where's the album at?
Same.
With Brent Faiyaz, I am fully aware that his album should have dropped December 3rd. Is it here? No. Am I upset? Yes.
Yes.
But will I patiently wait for an album because I feel like he wants to make it great? Absolutely. And in the meantime, he's been putting out singles, so it's not like you just don't hear from him anymore. That's the thing that does make me mad about Kendrick is the fact that he doesn't release any singles. In the meantime, he just doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
It's kind of annoying, bro.
He did do stuff with Keem, but those are Keem songs.
Yeah, those are Keem songs. That is true.
I'm always hyped for The Weeknd. He really hasn't put out a bad album, in my opinion. I like he's going for an 80s sound, even with the last single he put out after Hours.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm always hyped for him. I'm negative hype. I want to retract hype from 100 Gex.
Oh my god.
Because
oh my god.
I don't care who you are. You're 13 years old if you listen to 100 Gex.
You read at a
Holy
second
shit.
grade level. You
You
read at
do
a second
not-
grade level.
You do not know what sound is. Bro, it says
Oh
right
my
here,
God.
this duo makes hyperactive music that throws genres into a blender. Scratch that. This duo makes hyperactive music that sounds like a blender. That's what it should say.
It sounds like a blender.
Bro, and I don't care. I like funny music from time to time. I like when people make jokes. There's no way in hell you can convince me that them saying, "Oh, you're gonna cry like a little piss baby," it's them. It's not funny. It's not funny. It's so cringy. It's corny.
Oh my god! If you listen to 100 Gex, you were in ISS every fucking day. You
Oh my god.
dude. Yeah, you said they put jars in a blender. Their music to be thrown in a blender. Get that shit the fuck out of here.
100 Gex lyrics. Let me.
It's bad, dude. Like I will listen to every Playboi Carti album ever made, every song ever made before I listen to 100 Gex.
Hell yeah. Okay, so
I hate Playboi Carti's music.
Money Machine. That's their most famous song.
Mm-hmm.
This is okay. So apparently it's a verse. It's not on
Okay.
beat. It's basically a rant.
Okay.
So I thought it was an intro, and it says, "Hey, you little piss baby, you think you're so fucking cool, huh? You think you're so fucking tough? You got a lot of big game for someone with such a small truck."
I mean,
Look at those arms. Your arms look so fucking cute. They look like little cigarettes. I bet I can smoke you. I can roast you, and then you'd love it. You'd text me, "I love you," and then I'd fucking ghost you.
oh my god.
What?
Bars.
What?
Listen, that's called motherfucking bars. You don't know nothing about that. That's that's criminal. Criminal.
And then don't get me started with the hook. I think the hook is annoying.
What's the hook? Oh god.
That's the it feels so clean like a money machine. I am.
Oh,
Big boys
yeah,
coming
yeah.
with the big truck. I don't know. I mean, if you like 100 Gex, whatever. But I want to.
You were in ISS every day.
I want to retract hype from 2022 from their album.
Oh my gosh.
And
Hey, if
then-
you listen to 100 Gex, you are white and you call your mom by her first name.
Oh no.
100%. 100%.
Holy shit. Get out of my room, Karen. I'm playing Minecraft.
That's the one. That's the one. Holy shit.
Jesus
Oh my
Christ.
god. Oh shit. That was funny.
And my last hype, anything that anyone from Exo Society does. For
yeah, I like
those who
them.
don't know, Exo Society is this group of underground rappers. I don't know if we've talked about them actually. They have Kill Bill, Rav, Square, and Aerospace.
Yep.
I
Yeah.
like all those guys. I think they're hype. I like their lo-fi underground sound. So anything they do, I'm hyped for. Kill Bill just dropped an album. It's pretty good. Always hyped for them.
Yeah, big stuff. Music for me, I only have two things. One is Saba's album Few Good Things.
Ooh, I didn't know.
I'm definitely excited for that. I know he released 2 singles. One is Fearmonger, and the other one I cannot remember the name. Let me look it up real quick. It was Fearmonger and Stop That. There's 2 singles off of Few Good Things. I don't know exactly when it comes out. I think it's February 4th. February 4th. So it's pretty soon.
there.
Yeah, it's pretty soon. Care for Me is probably one of my favorite albums of all time. It's such a raw and introspective album, and you really see how vulnerable Saba is on it. It deals with his past traumas of living in Chicago, dealing with violence, and how it affected him and his family, his friends, and then talk about his own mental state. How the deaths of his friends or the deaths of young people in Southside Chicago, kind of affect your mental. and going through the whole day. And I think it's like a really cool uh, look into the psyche of somebody who's been through a lot of shit. That probably shouldn't have to.
Yeah.
And I think and in some small, very very minuscule way, like I'm not gonna say I relate, but I also can feel what he's saying because a lot of my family on my dad's side is from Southside Chicago, and that's my dad kind of grew up in that kind of environment where it's a lot of gang activity, a lot of violence and stuff like that, and a lot of part of my family still lives in that area, so like, and a lot of my family members have moved down to Georgia or moved to other states because of just how bad it's gotten. So,
Yeah.
part of me is kind of like when I listen to the album, I can definitely like feel what he's talking about because of all the stories my pops or my cousins have said about just shit that be going on. So it's definitely one of my favorite albums. I'm definitely looking forward to a few good things. I don't know based off of Fearmonger and Stop That, I have no idea of the tone of it. Because if you
Yeah,
look at
me
the
neither.
cover art, it doesn't look like it's gonna be anything like. It seemed like it was gonna be another version of Care for Me, which I'm not mad about, right? But you listen to Fearmonger and the beats kind of like, I don't know, like not happy, but the beats a lot more up tempo, and it's the I guess the downbeats are like the beats are a little more up tempo. The snare is a lot higher, you know what I'm saying, and there's a lot of underlying percussion in it that like which is higher pitch, so it sounds like you're outside grooving with your homies. You know what I'm saying? So I'm curious to see how it's gonna sound, but there's probably gonna be some introspective stuff on there because Saba's really good at that stuff. But
Yeah.
Fearmonger is definitely a song. If you haven't heard it, check it out. And that album's coming out in early February. So that's basically what I got. Also, whatever project Ben Beal decides to drop in 2022,
Bro. I
bro,
fucking love Ben Beal.
he's so good.
He's
He's one of the
fucking
few. He's one of the few, I guess, lo-fi rappers, lo-fi artists that I actually really fuck with. Obviously, like the people from Exo Society are in that group too. There aren't too many like lo-fi rappers that I really generally like because some of them just don't really rap that well. But I generally like Rav and Kill Bill and Square and all them. They're pretty good. But Ben Beal, if you are a fan of early Mac Miller and his kind of style, I think from probably Blue Slide Park to Good AM, like, and you take out like Faces, you take out Watch a Move with the Sound Off. You just go Blue Slide Park and Good AM, those two. If you are fans of those albums, Ben Beal is the perfect like artist for you. Like because literally, and I hope like this doesn't sound like a bad thing, and I hope like people that end up discovering him or listening to him don't take it the wrong way, but he sounds eerily similar to Mac Miller in terms of delivery, his flow, and the beat choices he's taking, and the kind of choruses he makes, how he makes his hooks. You know what I'm saying? It sounds just like early Mac Miller, and it could be his not his downfall, but it could be something that doesn't necessarily get him over that hump of being an artist in a lot of ways. But
yeah, maybe.
I know he could definitely like get on by saying, "Hey, like I sound just like Mac Miller." I hope he doesn't. But I mean, I'm excited. His sound is great, and I really like that. So
Yeah, same. I like him a lot.
so I know you had sent me your My Anime List watch list thing. So
Yes.
I know you wanted me to kind of go through it and look.
I think
Let me just.
I thought it was an interesting idea because, well, one, I got it from Joey, the anime man.
Yeah.
But two, it's because this was the year my anime addiction started, you know?
Yes. Yes. I
So
feel you.
my list isn't, that long.
I got you.
I think I have like completed like 40 something stuff. 40
Yeah, I won't go through
things.
I'll just go through the titles you're currently watching, or I'll just go through the titles in general and then see where you stack up. You know what's funny? I started my. Dang it! Well, are you good? Sorry,
Okay,
folks.
you talk.
Oh my god, we're having troubles here. I don't know what's going on. All right, we're good. I have a Miami list, but I have not finished putting the list together because of how much stuff I have on it. So I'll probably make mine and look through it, and have you look through it another time, another episode. But
Sure.
but yeah, let me go ahead and kick it off. So you got already starting off great with Great Pretender. Like that's my number. Oof. That's probably number 1 or 2 all time for me. I might be like Yu Yu Hakusho is my favorite. Yu Yu Hakusho is my favorite anime of all time. Great Pretender is right there though. Like it's number 2. It might be 1B honestly. It's like one of my favorite shows ever. Yeah, it's just I just love how it's
I haven't
how the story's
scored
told.
it. I haven't scored it yet because I'm not done.
Yeah, it's you gotta finish it. The last I guess section of episodes because it doesn't follow like a whole season. They tell it in like small parts.
Yeah.
Between whichever country they're currently in. So that last maybe 4 or 5 episodes puts like the whole scope of the show into a different perspective, and the way it's told is brilliant. So yeah, so that's definitely for Great Pretender. It's definitely 1B for me. Obviously you got JoJo's Bizarre Adventure because it's a given, easy money.
Yeah. Yep.
One Piece, I don't blame you, but at the same time, real daunting task.
I'm on episode 27.
Yeah, I mean, that's a grind right there. Ranking of Kings, already mentioned it. Fire. Akira, probably one of the greatest anime ever in terms of just like storytelling, all that stuff. One of the greatest. One of the GOATs. Let's see what we got. Blue Period was my number 2 anime of the year. Definitely another phenomenal show. Blue Period's definitely creeping up there in terms of my top 10 anime that I've ever watched.
I scored it at an 8. I liked it a lot. I liked the writing in it. I think everything ties together, and I hope they do a season 2.
They definitely will. I think it got a lot of traction and definitely will. Yeah, Blue Period is, I don't know like why, but Blue Period really struck a chord with me on a very personal level. So I think that's definitely why I have it so high. So definitely good. Definitely going with the Studio Ghibli. Was that Studio Ghibli? Castle in the Sky?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, yeah. So I thought. Yeah, Zoe's the resident Ghibli man. I've only seen Spirited Away and Princess Mononoke. Those are the only 2 ones I've watched.
Ooh, you should watch fucking I love Ponyo. Ponyo is so fucking good.
Yeah, I've seen. Okay, no, that's a lie. I've seen Spirited Away a few times. I watched Princess Mononoke, I think a couple years ago, and then I think as a kid I might have watched My Friend Totoro.
Totoro's in the list.
Those are the only 3 I've watched. But yeah, you got Danganronpa, the show. Actually,
how do you feel about the scores I gave both Danganronpa?
So you gave. Wait, that's weird. It has the end of. It has like the. It's weird how they did that. It's weird how they did the seasons, but giving them a 7 is not a bad score in any case. I think for what it did and the story it's telling, it did a pretty decent job. Like me and you are gonna do at some point in time we're gonna go through every video game anime adaptation and kind of figure out which one's the best one. But obviously, okay, so what we'll do is it's really just a race for third because of Arcane and Castlevania.
Yeah,
So it's
yeah,
but
yeah.
like
Castlevania,
yeah.
Castlevania's up there. I haven't finished it, but it's good. From what I've seen, it's fucking great.
Yeah, so it's definitely going to be an episode where we kind of go through and rank the best video game anime adaptations and figure out which one's coming in third because obviously Castlevania and Arcane are the two best. Devilman Crybaby, I told you, you know how I feel about Devilman Crybaby.
Yeah, I mean, I liked it though.
You know what's funny now that I've read Chainsaw Man and kind of even like watched Uzumaki and stuff like that. I think at the time of me watching, even watching Attack on Titan too, at the time of me watching Devilman Crybaby, I wasn't necessarily used to very gory anime.
Sure.
And most of the anime I was watching was a lot of shonen with violence, but not violence to where it was really, really crazy or like even like really adult themes at the time. So I feel like I could probably go back now and rewatch Devilman Crybaby and not have a problem with it. I just remember texting you. I don't know where I was, but I think I was texting you when I was watching the first episode where they had that big ass club thing.
Yep.
And like people started turning into demons, and like this one girl, like her vagina opened up and swallowed this nigga, and I was like, oh my god! I was like, what the fuck is this,
Bro?
I was traumatized.
I watched Devilman Crybaby in like a few years ago when I really wasn't watching anime. So at the time, I just kind of thought I was like, okay, yeah, this is really bloody, but this is what anime is.
Yeah, I mean,
I didn't know any of the ins and outs, like slices of life and shit like that, you know?
yeah, you're just like, this is anime. Yeah, I think my my anime palette is more developed now, so I think I'll be able to watch them and Crybaby again. I might go back and watch it. Fully Cooley, phenomenal.
I fucking
Phenomenal
love the
show.
original Fooly Cooley.
Fully
I love
Cooley,
it.
phenomenal show. Fully Cooley Progressive, 6 is a good score.
I was about to
6 is a good
say,
score.
yeah, I have Fooly Cooley at an 8, and then Fooly Cooley Progressive at a 6.
I'll probably
I
give
was-
Fully Cooley a 9, but that's just me.
I
I would have given
was-
Fully Cooley a 9.
I want to rewatch it soon, so I'll probably rescore it. But dude, Fooly Cooley Progressive, I was so hyped for it because I'd seen the original and I was like, this looks so sick. And it's just whatever.
Yeah.
It's just like
the mu-
there.
Yeah, the music is really good though. Like they got
Oh.
new music from the original. The people that did the soundtrack for Fully Cooley, the original, dropped new songs specifically for Progressive, and they sound phenomenal.
Yeah, they sound great. And don't even get me started on,
Yeah.
on Alternative. I'd never finished Alternative, but I just remember I didn't like it. I'll try to give it another chance. It was just, if they named it anything else, it would have been better. It just didn't feel like Fooly Cooley.
Yeah, I feel you. Let's see. Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood gets a 9. You know, easy money there.
Easy clap, bro. It's so fucking good. It's just, I wouldn't say it's one of my favorites because I think it's hard to rewatch again because it's so long.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, maybe
Yeah.
it's different for other people, but at least for me, it's like it's hard to rewatch because it's a downer. You know, there's a lot of dark shit that happens in it.
Yeah, I feel you. I will say this, like, if I was to ever recommend an anime to somebody, I think that's probably the one I would recommend.
It's
Like,
one
I
of
think
them, for sure.
I wouldn't recommend like Naruto or Bleach or One Piece even because of the grind it takes to finish them. Like with David, the fact that he's actually watching Naruto now is actually crazy to me.
Yeah.
Because with his personality, I didn't think he actually would want to watch it. But Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, none of it's filler. Even though some of the episodes may not have too much action in it, it's more of like a story driven in some aspects of the episode. So I can tell, like, so some of the episodes kind of drag a little bit, but it's a phenomenal show. Let's see what else you got.
first part of
Mars Red on here.
Stardust.
Yeah.
Oh,
for first
what do you
Stardust.
think? What do you think about my score for Mars Red?
I don't like it necessarily, but I can definitely tell. I can definitely see where you might be going with the rating, because you gave it a 6, and I think it should be rated higher. But I'm a fan of very artsy shows, like shows that aren't just like yelling and screaming and powering up. So
And so am I.
Yeah.
It's my thing about Mars Red was you were okay with the story being more about the world instead of the characters.
yeah,
Me, not so much. You said
okay,
oh, you don't really spend time with characters, and that's what confused me. Well, not really confused, but I was like, who am I rooting for? Like, who I thought it was about
okay,
like, it starts off like kind of centering around the general, and then there's like a little bit about the people who live in the theater, and then about the private, which I was like, dude, these are all very interesting characters, because they are. I really like where their stories lead them, but I just wish I spent more time with them.
yeah. I get you. Yeah, no, that's a totally fair assessment. Yeah, one thing I just generally, I'm a big fan of world building, so I think when they have, and I do agree that in some especially some characters, you don't really go anywhere with their character. They're just there, and they have something interesting that they could talk about, but they don't. And I do agree with you there. But I just,
I
just
think it's
generally
beautiful. It's a beautiful show.
yeah, art style's great. The way the cinematography is great. How they set up their shots and how they set up the lighting for characters talking, and how they position camera, like the angles for certain tension. I think it's just phenomenal. Oh, they did a phenomenal job with that. So, yeah, I think I'm not a fan of the rating, but I understand why you gave it a 6.
Sure.
Yeah. Obviously you got Mob Psycho. You rated season 2 over season 1 though. You gave season 2 a 9. You gave Mob Psycho 100 the first season an 8.
I think I finished the first season, and I was like, oh, this is a good show. I'm going to continue, because it's like my friend Luke. It's like his favorite or one of his favorite animes.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, this is pretty fun and funny. It's cool. I like it. But I think season 2 is just more, it's a little bit more memorable, I would say. It's funnier. The fights are bigger, especially the ending.
Yeah.
It's everyone's coming into their own. You know, Mob gets his character arc. His brother gets his character arc, like finishes his character arc.
Yeah, right.
Fucking blonde kid Tetsu, right?
Yeah, I can't remember his name. Yeah, Tetsuo, I can't remember.
Tetsu becomes a really, really likable character in the second season. I adore the second season. Oh, I forgot. I'm hyped for the third season.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, yeah. That's the third season comes out 2022. I totally. How do we miss that? But I know if Luke, if you're listening, we apologize immensely. But yeah, so I do. You know, I thought the first season is a great way to like kind of get. It's probably another show I definitely would recommend to people. That'd be like a first to watch. Be Mob Psycho 100. But
Yeah.
I do think character wise, season 2, you really see Mob like actually, you know, you see the message of the show actually get portrayed through Mob in the second season, in terms of like finding yourself and finding who you really are and understanding the ups and downs of life and stuff like that. So I definitely can see the rating there. You got My Hero Academia, pretty even scores across the board, 8s, and I think you gave the first season a 7. Makes sense. Season 5 you gave a 9 though.
It's my favorite arc so far. It is so good. I loved my villain Academia. It is so good, and it left me wanting more. You know, I was like, what the fuck is gonna happen next?
Yeah.
I went to go see the movie. The movie's alright. The new movie, it was okay.
Yeah. Really?
Cool animation, but it was I watched it because I was like, I need more My Hero content. It's just hype. I'm not really praising any of its like writing. I don't think it's doing anything crazy when it comes to like writing and characters and shit like that. It's just one of those shows that you watch it and you're like, fuck, I need to do push-ups right now. I'm so hyped.
Oh man, I feel you. It's a great show.
Mm-hmm.
I do okay. Another just randomly. I know we brainstorm a lot on the podcast and what we're gonna do for future episodes, which is not necessarily a good thing, but also it just kind of helps us out with our thought process. I definitely want to have an episode about women in anime and how a lot of them are written really poorly. And My Hero Academia is no exception to that.
Nope.
So yeah, that's just want to throw that in there at some point in time. So we have the the video game anime adaptation episode, and then we have a women in anime episode.
For sure.
Yeah, so there's gonna be be on the lookout for those episodes. Back to Studio Ghibli, My Neighbor Totoro, Ponyo. Is Porco Rosso, is that Studio Ghibli as well?
I love Porco
I've never
Rosso.
seen that
It
one
is
before.
great.
I've never seen that one.
Michael Keaton is in the dub.
Really? I never heard of that. That's crazy. Skate the Infinity and Sunny Boy. If you haven't looked at our given our best anime of 2021 episode a listen, we go into a little more detail about Skate the Infinity and Sunny Boy. We went into detail about Sunny Boy twice, but
Yeah, we really did.
Yeah, Skate the Infinity is a phenomenal show.
I like Skate.
I think it was on my list. It was your honorable mention, right?
It was my honorable mention. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I just because of the undertones of the show.
Oh yeah, it's. I kind of relate that to more. It's the same thing with like Haikyuu. Like obviously it's.
Yeah.
Haikyuu's not Haikyuu's a sports anime, and that's why I watch Haikyuu. But a lot of people watch Haikyuu because of all the dudes in there, and it's like more of a female attracting show. Like more women are gonna watch Haikyuu than men. That's just how it is. More women are probably gonna watch Skate the Infinity than men. I don't care. I think it's a great fucking show.
Yeah,
I think it's a great fucking show.
I think it's good.
Yeah, but definitely the two main characters are there and especially even Discount Dio. So the main character Discount Dio.
Even Joe, the buff dude.
Dude, oh my god, he's dope. But like, he's in there for one reason and one reason only.
It's for fan service, for sure.
100%. 100%. Let's see what else. So Spirited Away, a classic. SSSS Diazenin and SSSS Gridman.
Mm-hmm.
Out of the two, which one do you think is better? Gridman or Diazenin?
I rated Gridman at an 8 and Diazenin at a 7. I think Gridman, just without spoiling anything, because I know you said you don't like mech animes, but like I said in our last episode, it's not really a mech anime.
Yeah.
Gridman is much more. There's something going on there. There's something underlying. Yeah. Like, it's kind of mysterious. And then, like, when I talk about the ending, again, I'm not spoiling anything. When I talk about the ending, I literally mean the last 10 seconds of the show.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck? And then boom. It ended.
It ended. Oh, man.
But like a good what the fuck. I was like, wow, that was cool. And then
Diazenin or Gridman? Okay, my fault.
No, Gridman. Gridman.
Okay.
It's the way Gridman ended. Diazenin is good. I'm a very big fan of Trigger Studios. I love the way their shit looks. Diazenin is good. It's a little more straightforward, even though there's stuff that you kind of have to think about, like, oh, what does this character mean? What does this mean? But I think Gridman's mystery is a little more captivating.
Okay, I feel you. Star Wars Visions is phenomenal. We gave it a 7. 7 is actually a good rating for it because of the fact that all the episodes in the anthology series don't hit as hard.
Yeah.
Aren't as good. There's probably about how many are in there? How many are in there?
9. There's 9 episodes.
9. Okay, there's 9. I think there's maybe 6 out of the 9. Nice. Are 6 out of the 9 are really good, and then the other 3 are like, they're okay.
Yeah, they're okay.
If Studio Trigger needs to do more Star Wars, first and foremost.
Dude, their episode with the twins is fucking crazy.
It goes nutty, bro. That joint is crazy, bro. That joint is crazy. If Star Wars,
if anyone
Lucasfilm is
listening,
smart, if they're smart, they would have Trigger do all their Star Wars animated stuff.
I was about to say, if anyone listening has ever seen Promare,
oh my god,
that's
Promare
what
is phenomenal.
That I haven't seen it yet, but I've seen like the trailer and I've heard a good shit about it. If you've seen Promare and you like it, that's the art style they used for their Star Wars episode.
So good, so good. Either that, and then whoever did Ronin, like the black and white one. Bro. I would love a series on that. I would love them to just do a bunch of episodes just on that specific. I guess he's like a Sith. I don't know the Sith now. He has a red lightsaber, but just on that person in general.
He's such a cool character because maybe he was Sith, but he helped he helps the village. Like, I don't know. It's such a cool episode.
Yeah, I think it's great. So yeah, either Studio Trigger or whoever did the Ronin episode. So you got Sword Art Online rated a 5. Should have been lower. No, I'm playing. I think Sword Art Online is a good starter anime, but as you get, especially with the first season, as you get
it
deeper
was one
into,
of my first.
As you get deeper into the show, with the second season, which is really bad, and then you get into Gun Gale Online. I think recently it started getting good. Gun Gale Online is really bad. I think Alicization, I think. I've heard some pretty decently good stuff on Alicization. I've just been so sour on SAO to the point where I don't really care about it anymore. So I probably won't watch it.
It's one of my first anime, so like I saw the first season and I was like, oh, cool, video game. I didn't even know what the fucking isekai was, you know?
Right, exactly.
And then it gets to season 2, and that's when they like switch up the vibe of it. It's like Elf something or whatever.
Oh, the
and then
Elfheim, I think it's called. Yeah.
And then the elf girl he meets is like his little sister, and his little sister gets a crush on him, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on here?
Yeah, but you see what I'm saying though, with how I like calling back to earlier in the episode with the incel type shit, where Kirito is that model prototype, where it's that model prototype where it's just, I'm not a huge fan of that kind of character archetype per se. I'm not a fan of that character archetype.
I put it as a 5 because genuinely, as someone who hasn't seen like that much anime, I do think the first season is it's okay. It's not terrible. And it could be a good starter anime.
Yeah.
Because it really doesn't do anything subversive. It's kind of tropey, it's cliche, but like the first season's like whatever. It's just the second season is where it gets fucking like redundant. It's weird.
Yeah. Yeah. Tales from Earthsea. I've never seen that. Never heard of that one actually.
That's the one that we talked about. It's the worst anime you've ever seen. That's the movie I was talking about.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That's Studio Ghibli. Goro Miyazaki, Hayao Miyazaki's son.
Okay, yeah.
Boring as shit, bro.
Like I said, if your father is a high prestige, odds are you're probably The sun is probably not going to be that good.
Not cut out for it, bro.
Yeah, no, it's a done deal for that. Let me see. Sorry, my brother just texted me.
Now you're good.
Promise Neverland, season 1, phenomenal.
Is that
Season two does not exist, so we don't talk about it. Even if there was a season 2, yeah, we don't really talk about that. We got Vivi at a 9. I know we talked a lot more in depth about Vivi in our best of 2021. So if you haven't watched, again, plug in the old episodes. Please go back and listen to those. Weathering with You and Your Name. Okay, so both of those. Do you know both those movies are in the same universe?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, and they're making a third movie. They're making a third movie for 2022, and it's like, yes, yeah. I totally forgot to mention that. They're making a third movie that's, I think it might have something to do with like time travel or portal traveling. So it might end up getting into with Weathering with You or Your Name. Yeah. So so it's the third installment in that little series, in that little universe. So I'm excited for that too. So both those movies are great.
I gave Your Name a 10 out of 10. I fucking adore that movie. It's so good. And Weathering with You, I gave it an 8. It's good. I just don't think it has anything. Bro, Your Name has like the big fucking like in the middle of the movie. It's just like something happens and you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And that's why I love that movie. And then Weathering with You is a little more straightforward, but it's still really good. Both gorgeous movies.
Right.
I like those.
Let's see what else we got. Seven Deadly Sins.
The next two are on hold. Kakigurui and then Seven Deadly Sins.
Yes.
I've heard a lot of shit about Seven Deadly Sins, but I don't know. I plan on watching a little more. I haven't dropped it fully yet.
I remember me and you kind of started Seven Deadly Sins around the same time. Because I remember you telling me about like that first episode where Meliodas catches the fucking spear and like chucks it back. And I remember you were like, oh my God, like you were just super hyped about it. The first like 2 seasons are so good, and the animation's great, story's fine. You know what I'm saying? It's typical shonen stuff.
Sure.
But it gets to the point. It got to a certain point where it just fell off so hard, and like they built up. I mean, I don't really want to spoil too much of it. They built up all this anticipation for this fight between these two characters just for the animation to be absolute dog water. Like, it's so bad. No. It's so bad. Just for the animation to look like absolute shit. Like, it's bad. Yeah. They really hyped up and built that fight up just for them to undersell. And that's really disheartening for people that are Seven Deadly Sins fans. Then they followed it up with a CG trailer for 2022.
Oh my God, that's right. You sent it to me.
They followed it up with whatever the fuck that is. Does not look good.
Oh shit, that did look really bad.
Yeah, I mean, when CG is done right, I don't really care. I'm not a huge fan of CG in anime, but if you do it right, you know, it's not that bad.
Yeah, Beastars looks pretty good.
Beastars not bad. But CG, like the track record with CG, is so bad. So like Seven Deadly Sins deciding to do that is just oof. I'm not a fan of that.
The next two
will be dispatched.
Yes, the next two are the ones I've dropped.
So you got Combatants will be dispatched. Me and you both kind of talked back about it. I think that's episode 3, maybe.
I dropped it. That's funny. I dropped it on episode 3. That's funny.
we have varying opinions on it. I think that it served its purpose as a comedy anime. You feel like it isn't that funny, which is a fair assessment. I think, I do think it makes way too many sexual jokes as the basis for its comedy. which sometimes in the right context, if it's the right context, it's fine, right? If raunchiness and vulgarity is the humor style you're going for in the right context, it's fine. But in the context of the plot for this anime, it doesn't make sense, or does it's not it's it shouldn't be the main focal point. It should, like, with them going down to conquer the planets, right? The comedy should be more so about the two main characters trying to finesse their way into conquering the planet, not
Yes.
an evil witch in a wheelchair who's exponentially horny but actually hasn't had sex in the first place. You know what I'm saying?
It's way too horny.
Again, this shouldn't be as horny as it is. I tell you that's gonna catch on. That's gonna catch on eventually.
Yeah, because the thing is, it really takes me out of the show. It's like, really, this is the guy you sent to conquer the planet? This guy can barely tie his own shoes.
Oh my god. Yeah, he's a lost cause.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What's
probably.
this? What's this next space? This next space is blank. I don't see anything.
Is it Bakemonogatari?
Or the one above it. You see, it's like a blank space.
No, all of mine are fine. I don't see a blank space on your list. You have
In between
so.
Combatants will be dispatched and Bakemonogatari or whatever.
Oh, I guess it's Promised Neverland season 2. Oh, oh shit! I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? Oh my god! Oh my god! In post, either if you're editing this video, fucking, you have to put the picture of this shit of the list because I was 100% confused. Okay, holy shit. Okay, so this man Zoe was talking about the Promised Neverland season 2, which doesn't exist. He said the space between Compassable Dispatch and Bakemonogatari. I was 100% confused as to what you were talking about. Holy shit!
If Promised Neverland season 2 did exist, I dropped it at episode 5, and I just changed the score to a 4.
Okay, moving on to things that don't exist. Bakemonogatari is good. Oh no, you glitched out again. Damn it. Are you good?
No, yeah, you're good. You're good. It froze for like a second.
I can't hear you anymore.
Hello?
Okay.
Oh, did you?
Okay.
It just froze for like a second. Yeah, but the next 1, 2, 3, the next 6 are shit that I plan on watching.
Okay, so Bakemonogatari, when I was looking at the list, I kind of laughed to myself a little bit because I kind of equate the Bakemonogatari series and the Fate series kind of in the same regard as to stuff like, bro, Siri, come on, bro. What are you doing? Bro, I don't understand. Okay. The Fate, yeah, with Fate and Bakemonogatari, right? You got 2 stories that have a lot of shit. And you don't really know exactly where to start. Because Bakemonogatari has a bunch of different titles with like maybe the first like 4 letters being different. It's like Bakemonogatari and then whatever Monogatari and then something else Monogatari. There's a lot of different titles. It's all in the same universe. And they all have multiple seasons. So like the Monogatari series is something. It's a very good series. I think I've only watched Bakemonogatari and one other one. I can't remember. Haven't watched the whole series, but it's definitely a good watch for real.
I'm planning on watching it because I saw the anime man Joey roast his friend's anime list.
Yeah.
But PewDiePie had it at like a 9, and he was like, "I agree," and I was looking at it and I was like, "This shit looks girly as fuck." What do you mean you mean PewDiePie gave it a 9?
there's a lot of
So-
different titles in there that are good.
So yeah, I mean, I'm open minded to anime. You know, like I really like Blue Period, Skate the Infinity. I want to watch Fruits Basket. But
I actually
for
started
me,
Fruits
I was
Basket.
like, but for me, when I saw PewDiePie out of everyone give this really girly looking show a 9, I was like, okay, I think I should look at it, because he also gave like Devilman Crybaby like an 8 or a 9. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, well, that's weird. I think I did watch that episode. I think PewDiePie has some really good, I guess, scores for certain shows. So with Fruits Basket, right? I recently started that show. It's definitely. I'm not gonna, okay, when I say this, it's not a bad thing. It's a show that's not necessarily like the type of genre I really like watch all that much. It's kind of the same as it's fucking Haikyuu and Skate the Infinity. It's not for me.
Oh, really?
It's not for me.
Sure.
Like, because it's like a reverse harem. Kind of.
Okay.
Kind of. I mean, there's multiple love interests. There's multiple guys in the show, and the main character's a girl, and she's in this house with a whole bunch of dudes. It's, you know what I'm saying? It has the basis of the reverse harem kind of genre. It's a good show, not for me. If
Sure.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was good. I remember for a time, Fruits Basket literally took the #1 spot on my anime list. Because it used to be like,
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
it was.
it was-
I think Full Metal Alchemist was #1 or Attack on Titan was #1, whichever one. But it took #1 for maybe like 2 weeks. So there is some merit to it.
I saw a lot of people really, really hype about the finale.
Yeah. I saw, and then they
So
made like a
that-
prequel to it for 2022.
Oh my god, did they? Oh my god.
Yeah. I think it's about the main girl's parents.
That's funny.
I could be wrong about that though.
Jesus
Erased.
Christ.
What?
I don't know anything about the show, so like just to hear like, oh, it's a prequel about her parents, it just sounds funny.
Yeah, no, it's yeah, but I think Fruits Baskets is good. You got Erased on there. Have you seen Tokyo Revengers? Did you ever
No.
like
Oh,
watch that at all?
No, I forgot about it. I should
Okay.
put it on my
Well-
plan to watch.
Erased and Tokyo Revengers are kind of in that same premise type, where the main character goes back in time for something. Erased is good. I will say Erased, the ending, I think the ending to the manga for Erased and the ending to the anime for Erased are different. And I think one of them, I can't remember which one of them is good and one of them made people a little upset.
Oh jeez.
I can't remember which one it was. Yeah, but overall though, Erased is a good it's a good show. I can't remember which ending made people upset because I haven't watched Erased in a long time. What else? My senpai is annoying.
It sounded funny.
I actually haven't watched it, but the premise is funny. I haven't seen too much of it either. Ping Pong the animation.
Looks sick. It looks fucking badass.
Yeah, the animation style for Ping Pong is so cool. It's not like the traditional sports anime where it's like a sport is the main plot point and then you just kind of go through it that way. It's more so it emphasizes the characters and their mental states and their own journeys and just has ping pong as merely a part of the show, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like it's more so about
Sure.
the characters than it is about ping pong. But it's the animation style is really cool. It's not based in any kind of realism at all, but I think that's what it benefits it. The way, because how making ping pong exciting in the basic sports anime way would be kind of annoying. I think the way they do it with this, with like it kind of makes it look like it's like an acid. It's like you're playing ping pong on acid. Is what it looks like. honestly.
shit.
I think it's pretty cool. But, and to round out the list, I know you've mentioned this several times over the course of the short run of this anime podcast. Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Girl Senpai.
I just gotta get into the mood. I'm gonna watch it. I'm not in the mood to watch it right now.
I mean, it deals with some like somewhat heavy stuff. So I mean,
Yeah, I've heard.
and I just love how the title is so misleading for the rest of the actual show.
Yeah, dude. I think I brought it up to you. I was like, wow, that sounds dumb. And then you were like, don't worry, there's no bunny girls in it. I was like, oh.
I mean, there is. The main girl in it, like, it's kind of hard to explain without spoiling the plot, but like the bunny.
Okay, but when I hear Bunny Girl Senpai as a new fan of anime, when I hear Bunny Girl Senpai, I'm like, oh, this is a furry ass show.
or just all fan service.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I thought. I thought it was just like annoying and maybe more for furries.
No, I think what it does, what the title does, is get you to go, especially for degenerates. You go, okay, bunny girls. Let me click on this, and then you get like an actual emotional roller coaster, or you get an actual like emotional story driven show, and you're like, that's actually really good, and you got some romance to it and stuff like that. And you're like, oh, I came for the bunny girls, but I stayed for the plot, the actual plot, if that makes sense. But it's
just
it's good. Again, like I said, what episode did I say this? Like I said a few episodes ago, my degeneracy is lived vicariously through the people I follow on Twitter. So when I saw people talking about Bunny Girl Senpai early, I was like, okay, this might be whatever. And then those same people were turning around talking about some, oh my god, like this show's great. The romance in it's phenomenal. The characters have some really good dialogue back and forth with each other. It deals with some really societal topics about cyberbullying and mental health and stuff like that. And it's a really well put together show. And I was like, okay, cool. I guess I'll watch it. Plus the OP and the ED are phenomenal. But
damn dope.
But so that rounds out my anime list. Overall, good. Definitely got to add some more titles to it.
Yeah.
If I could be so kind as to recommend some for maybe you and the rest of the class. No, I'm playing. Let me see if I can find this list.
I'll put it on my plan to watch.
If I can find the list, I got you. Hold on. Not my anime watch list. My top 10. Okay. If I can offer you Bungo Stray Dogs is a phenomenal show.
I've heard.
Most of the characters and their powers are based off of real authors in their literature, which is really cool. Yeah, that's really cool. Appare Ranman is like the anime version of the Great Intercontinental Race. Like I can't remember the name of that movie exactly, but it's like the race across one end of America to the other. That show is phenomenal. And then I would highly suggest you watch Vinland Saga. I don't know if you saw me talk about Vinland Saga at all. Vinland Saga is the one, bro. It definitely. Really? I can't remember if it came. I can't remember if it came out in the same year as. I think it came out in the same year as season 1 of Demon Slayer, and Demon Slayer won, I think, Anime of the Year that year, and that actually made me mad because Vinland Saga definitely should have won that. But
I've heard a lot about Vinland Saga.
Yep. Let's see what else. One more. I think I mentioned earlier in the podcast, Decadence. Decadence is basically about, like I said, like these monsters are kind of around the area, and they kind of hire these people who go out to fight these monsters and stuff like that, right? And these people live in this little like
Dense. Okay.
Yes. So like like I'm not gonna tell you too much about the premise because there's a twist in it that makes it a little more interesting. But general on the surface premise, all these people live in this society in this big mobile like moving fortress. People like live in there, go out sometimes in order to fight these kaiju type. I'm not even gonna call it. They're not really kaiju. They're like monsters that are kind of like around the area, and that's how they got to survive, right?
Cool.
The way they fight, right? They basically wear equivalent of ODM gear.
I'm looking at the
But
picture.
it's
It looks.
but
Like
it's not. It's not the same. It's like ODM gear, but how they fight is like they throw like this little ball. They throw this thing out that creates this big, it's like zero gravity type area, I think.
Holy shit.
So basically, what they do is like it gives them this like weightlessness, so they can kind of fly around the area. And instead of the little swords, they have these little like, these are like spears, I guess. Like they're like these pipes that have like a hole, like the pipes have a hole in them with like a sharp point on the end, and they shoot them into the monsters, and that's how they kill them is like the blood like comes out of the little pipe thing. So like it's a different take on like the monster fighting thing, similar to AOT, but it's not the exact same. So I think it's a good show. Oh dang, when are we on time? Okay, yeah, we definitely got to a good stopping point.
Yeah.
As far as music recs, we can definitely do that for next week. But again, thank you guys for listening in today. 2022 is going to be a really important year for this podcast and how we want to do things. I definitely, I think I tweeted about it on New Year's Eve. I think you guys, whoever has watched or listened to any of the episodes, thank you, because you don't have to. This is something that me and Zoe are doing for fun, and we enjoy putting out content. And if you guys enjoy what we're putting out, then that's just kind of gravy, honestly.
Yep.
So yeah, moving forward into 2022, I know I didn't completely get to my goal of releasing a YouTube video for 2021, but that'll definitely be coming in 2022. So I appreciate you guys. I've been Nostalgia, as told by Zoe. Nostalgia Nostalgia. Peace out.
Peace.